Раз, два. Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my studio in Montreal. Welcome to Monday. Thank you very much for joining me today. I know it's a little bit early, not like usual, and I apologize for the big part of the United States. I know it's too early there, especially in California. So if someone from California here and watching me, thank you very much for your time and you getting up very early. I appreciate it. Today we will talk about the watercolor as usual, and I have a few great news. First of all, you know that one of the biggest online store, Jackson's Art Supplies in London, now have my set, my 10 paintings from the Daniel Smith, what I'm using all the time in my watercolor work. So they have it now, and the great news: the same set will be in all the Amerdesser stores. It's a big net of the art supply stores in Canada in a few weeks. So all my students and people who took my classes can follow me and take the paint from the store, which is great. So that's why today we talk about the colors, and we're going to Italy, to Monza, small town. You already know that town. I just back from the festival in Monza in a few weeks ago. So today we make a cityscape. That one, I took that picture there. It's pretty nice, but you know, it's not exactly a interesting part of the city. It's just a regular street, nothing special. Yeah, light is not bad, but there is no like a nice silhouettes or nice details. Pretty usual stuff. So we're gonna make this painting, but the surprise is we'll make it just in two colors. So I will use Quinacridone Sienna and Indigo. That's two my main colors, and all that colors we have in that set. So idea is because you know, on all my classes, all my workshops, I'm always hear the question what color I'm use now, what colors I'm use this time, and I'm always say, you know, sometimes it's important for the some technical job. It's very important to take exactly that pigments, not these pigments, because of the stunning, how deep pigments going inside the paper, how good it for mixing, how transparent is that, a lot of things. But mostly special for the plenar painting or just a fast sketching like we will do today, it's not important. More important to care about the value, the lights and the contrast. So today I will try to prove it. We use just the two colors and we will try to paint that nice street. I have a Saunders Waterford 300 grams paper. It's a square, like a 12 by 12 inches. And it's already make a sketch and I put the water on the back, so the back side is wet. As you know, I prepared that advance like 15 minutes before we start our video. So paper is ready, it's taped, and I just switch the camera and we go. And plus, if you have any questions, any comments, please just tape it in chat and I can answer. Hello, Pierre Font. Yeah, we are neighbors. Thank you for joining me. Good morning, Michigan. Thank you for joining. It's pretty early time. So you see that two colors. That's only that we're gonna use, and that's our reference photo. I will move it times to times because I need a space for painting. Don't be wrong. Yeah, I know we have a blue color here on the sky. We have a little bit greenish mix in there. A lot of different colors inside. But honestly, it doesn't matter. It's not important what we have here. It is important how we organize our paper. That's why we're doing that. So the color of the sky, it's not exactly important. Sometimes I make it greenish, brownish, no matter. If it's good for my painting, that's exactly what I need. Hello, Ohio. Welcome, Mexico. France, thank you for joining me today. Hello from Spain. Bologna, Italy, welcome to join me. You know, I miss your city. I was there just a month ago and I'm already miss it. Beautiful town. Hello, India. Hello, Saudi Arabia. We have all the world here. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. New York, welcome to join me. Thank you. Hello, Steve. Japan, welcome to my video. Thank you. So you see, I'm always mix just that two guys, and it's like a game. Honestly, it's a very simple job because you don't have to think which colors you have to pick up. You just follow in more your idea to keep the balance of the light and how to explain the light better. That's really, really simple things. Wow, Nepal, thank you for joining me from the huge mountain. I appreciate it. That's really, really cool. Hello, Crane. Thank you. Have a good breakfast, Ottawa. Hello, Minsk. Добрый день. Okay, good question about the tape. This tape, what I'm using, is just the first tape on the planet which made special for watercolor. I create this stuff, so with the company we make the special glue which can hold the pretty wet paper without damages. You can find this tape on my website, and yeah, I put the water just on the back side of the paper. I'm not touching the front. That's why I can use a dry brush strikes like that. In other case it will be impossible. So I put the water just on the back, the front side completely dry. You can find the link in chat on tape. And about the indigo, you have to know a few things, because that's indigo from the Daniel Smith for sure. It's not the same indigo like you can find in other brands. First of all, it's a little bit more grayish. That's why then I mix it with the warm colors like a Queen Sienna. I never get the green color. I always have something brownish and nice. That's the first thing. Second one, then it's drying, it's going to be look like much lighter. So that's why for now it's look like I have a very dark mix there, but then it's dry, it will be lighter and softly, and I'm really like it. Okay, the question about the Sketching Academy. You know, the courses what I have on the watercoloronline.com, it's normally from 1 to 1.5 hours, and in that course we're talking about a lot of things. The Sketching Academy for now have 20 different courses, but each time we're talking about one thing, one technique, one material, or something like that. So it's a little bit more simple lessons, and we're focusing on one thing, like I say. That's why we make that lesson each 2 weeks. On the watercoloronline.com, I know sometimes we make a break in few months between the lessons, and all of them thematics lessons. So that's the difference. And for sure, on the watercoloronline.com, we're talking about the landscape, portraits, people in movement, the campus, a lot of things. But in the Sketching Academy, we're talking about the sketching only. So that's the main difference. So for now we have 80 people. Thank you very much. I know it's early time in many countries. Thank you for joining me, and if you don't mind, please give us a like, because that helps our video to be on top. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, yes, this is just the two colors. You can see it right here. That's Indigo and the Quinacridone Sienna from the Daniel Smith. So we make all the painting, just use that two guys. Okay, great question. What I'm gonna do if my paper going to dry? I do nothing because I'm always trying to fit in 1.5 hours with my painting, not longer. And in that time, because I'm using the high quality Saunders Waterford paper, nothing happens with my paper. It's still wet and still can be useful. So that's why there is no that problem. But sometimes if I'm working on the long time project, yeah, I leave it for the dry completely, remove the tape, wet the back side, and starting again. But you know, it's almost never happens. It's just in case if I'm working on really complicated project and need more time. But normally no. I prefer more alive and spontaneous style like we're doing today. Jose, thank you very much for your question. Yes, I do make a collection of the brushes, and in my collection like maybe around 2,000 different brushes. All of them I'm tested before, so it's important for me because I'm always thinking maybe I will find some really cool that can change my style, like it happens with that brush, because this brush changed my style completely, and I'm still like a hunter. I'm still look forward to the new materials always. So thank you very much for your words. Yep, I will be happy. Dear Gabriel, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm already miss you. Sunny San Diego. Hello, friend. Thank you, Sarah. You know, I prefer to getting up early as well, but I know in California it's around 5 o'clock, so something like this. So that's too much even for me. But yeah, 8 o'clock is good time. I'm agree. Thank you. Okay, if you talk, tell me first, just type it in the chat. You talking about the Indigo from the Daniel Smith or from other brands? Because they are completely different. You know, one of the reasons why I'm just falling in love in the Daniel Smith is stuck with that pigments, because, like for example, you know the Phthalo pigments. A lot of people using that, including me, and that's great. But as you can see, I use the washout technique a lot, like something like this. You see, I just pick up the pigments, and with the Phthalo pigments, that's impossible because they are too stunning and they just stuck on the paper. Except the Daniel Smith. I have no idea how they changed technology, but the bright phthalo pigments, what they create, can be washed out from the paper, and that's incredible. So I can keep the bright colors like I use all the time and still can make wash out. So for me it's like a miracle. And all the pigments compared to other brands really different. So if we're talking about the Daniel Smith Indigo, believe me, it's very easy to remove. You see, I can do that. So just to show you, I can make my paper like a white again. It's not a problem. So it depends the brand. Okay, I know the Shinhan company very well. I know all the pigments. Yep, it's a different. It's still good quality, absolutely. They create a very bright pigments, but yeah, it's not the Daniel Smith. I believe you can see that on the price as well. Gabriel, thank you very much. You know, I'm dreaming to be in the California. I never was there before, you know that. So it's part of my dream. And thank you for your help. That will be amazing. And I'm just look forward to share the glass of wine with you. You know, all my brush wet for sure. And the secret is, look, I'm always use a lot of water to make my mix. But before I touch my paper, I remove the extra water. That's why in my left hand I'm always have that stuff, the paper towel. But I couldn't make it visible because in that case some drops can destroy my paintings. But I'm doing this all the time. So all the brush is wet. we have 100 people there. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your what would you give us, because as I said, that helps our video to make more visible. Thank you. Okay, great question about the brushes. In that case, do nothing. It sounds strange, but I have a surprise for you. In the 1 week, maybe in 10 days, we run a new set, like a mini set of my favorite brushes. It will be just 5 lines brush, my calligraphy brush, and the red liner. 3 main brushes, what I'm using every day. So that set will be exactly what you need. Just wait 1 week or 10 days and it will be available. No, I just, yeah, I saw your question. I just take off the extra water. So that's why it's, okay, hold the brush, have my pigment, my mix, but you see on the end of the brush here, it's pretty dry. That's why I can make that dry brush strokes without problem, so it's easy to do. That's the reason. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose from Spain. Thank you very much. You know, I'm enjoying that Monday videos as well. So for me, it's a huge pleasure to start the week with a conversation with you. And really, it's just make my week on front. It's a great feeling. So thank you very much for your support and join me. Okay, I have a great advice how to move that video to top. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Guys, can I ask you please to push the share button because that help that video to move. And you know, a lot of people looking for that video in the morning, and we have a lot of messages. They just missing because they couldn't find it. So if you can help people to find that video, that will be great. I really appreciate it. That's not the cold press paper. This is a rough Tachon and 300 grams. This time it's a natural white, not extra white. Saunders Waterford. Liron, thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate it. Thank you. So we're slowly going down, and now I'm touching our people here. But again, I don't want to make like a real people. We make something like this. It's almost like a ghost, because my goal to focusing on the city. Okay, good question about the technique. What I'm use? No, it depends of the subject. There is no like a strong rule, but I like the dry brush strokes, like all that stuff. What I'm doing here, I like how it's look like. If I use more water and painting like more wet, I couldn't do this. So sometimes I'm painting wet on wet for sure. I like that technique. In that case, the pigments and water moving everywhere around, but it's not for this time. This time it's more the dry brush silhouette. I like how it's look like. Okay, I'm mixing all my pigments on that stuff. It's cheap glass plate, but yes, plate. But you see, the my mix not going to be look like a drops. Everything visible, so I like that stuff. Liron, thank you very much. I appreciate your support and help. Thanks. Thank you very much for your comments about the people. Yeah, I like that too. I like that effect because if you look at the whole the city like this in real, not on the photo, because on the photo you can see all the objects at the same moment, but then you look at on reality, you never focusing on the people. It's always just like a ghost and nothing more. So that's what I'm trying to do when I'm painting. I'm trying to make the ghosts on the city. Okay, good question. Good question about the board. I use this is the PVC plastic, that board. It's not heavy and it's very strong. I use the boards like that in the two different sizes, and you can find it, by the way, on my website as well. I'm traveling with that board too, because it's, as I say, it's really strong, and I like the black color. It's never look like a dirt. Before with the white boards, it's always like look like a problem in a few weeks. But because I'm painting almost every day, but with the black one, it's always look cool. CJ, thank you very much for your attention and support. I appreciate it. Yeah, yes, it's just regular water from my kitchen, nothing special. But it's a good question because a few times I use the, just because that happens, sparkling water, water from the ocean. Sometimes it happens. No, this time it's just the regular stuff. Oh, yes, great question. For sure, you have no idea how many papers going just directly to the garbage. I'm okay with that. It's good process. Because I don't want to be like a person who produce the some art and guarantee have a nice result. I'm trying to make an experiments all the time and try something new. But then you're doing that, you always have a test bad painting and something like a absolutely look like a ugly garbage, and that's okay. So for my feeling, what I'm doing, I'm exchange sometimes pretty expensive paint, paper, and my time for experience. And for my feeling, it's a good exchange. So yeah, a lot of paintings go into the garbage. Yeah, it's absolutely right. It's a great message about the color of the board. I can tell you more. Before then, I'm used just a regular tape with a yellow color and a white board. I'm always use something like, for instance, the black brush, just to put it like this on my painting to understand how my painting look like compared to the real black. Because we need a black point to keep the right balance. So for now I don't have to do that because I have a black around. Plus the black tape, you see, it's never look like dirt, and it's look like my painting already framed. I like that effect. So that helped me to focusing just on this white window and control only that. It was a great thing when we created that board the first time, and since that I'm enjoying that every day. Okay, good question about the condition of the paint. Honestly, I'm always prefer dry paint. So I'm squeeze it in my palette like this and take the pigments from here. It's more easy to control. For now, I'm doing that just in one reason, because I need just the two colors, and I don't want to like for mistake take a other one. So that's why I make a limitation for me myself. But yeah, normally I prefer the dry painting. Yeah, you're absolutely right about the ghost people. Yes, because in that case, if you say yourself, you don't have to make the real people look like a real person and pay attention for all the details. That make your job more simple, and that case you can focus in not on that like we think always what the people is complicated part. Honestly, it's not. It's you decide how complicated is that. If you decide to focus in on the city, just make that like something almost invisible. It's already look like people. If I add just a little bit more details on that, it's going to be more realistic. But I don't want to make the portraits of the people on the street. I want to make the street. So that's the difference. Gabriel, it's so funny. Thank you very much. Yeah, it sounds funny. You know, that happens a few times in my life. Then we moved from the one condo to another one house. The people who help us to move all that stuff at once, then we move in. Few paintings I decide just put in the garbage and don't want to move with me. And we have a special corner when we put all the garbages. And they say, "You want to put it in the garbage? Seriously?" I say, "Yeah, because I don't like it." And they say, "Okay, you don't have to pay for moving, and we just take it." That was great. Thank you very much, Argentina. So normally, maybe you know that, maybe not. Normally, I hate to use the heater to make my paper dry. Normally, I'm continuing to paint the other part till all paper will be ready for the next touching. But today, just to save your time, I'm gonna use that. Sorry for this. I'm really hate it. Because like if you use the dryer, it's like a you force your paper, your pigments. You stop to giving a time for your pigments to move and mixing, and that's always bad. But as I say, today we will try to save the time. That's why I turn off my sound, because it's very noisy and drying fast. Okay, now we just need a few touching that will be done. First of all, my favorite part, I like to make the wires on the street. You know, that's huge part of the city, and I like how it's look like. Thanks, Gabriel. It's a funny story. Okay, the question about the composition. Yeah, there is no problem with that. You know, okay, we have a lot of rules about the composition, for sure. And we have, by the way, we have a special course, three lessons about the composition on the watercoloronline.com. but I'm trying to remove all that noise from my mind, then I'm start to painting. So I'm trying to follow in my feeling more. In the end, I can analyze what I did and say, okay, that was good, that was bad, that's possible. But in the process, I'm not thinking. I'm just dancing. And I believe that's the only right way for this. The arts don't need thinking in the process. Later, maybe. In the beginning, yeah, for sure. In the process, no. And that pretty simple sketch and more spontaneous, so we don't have to care about this. And till my feeling don't tell me what I have a issue or problem with some stuff, I just don't care about that. You know, for my feeling, for the artist, it's very important to trust yourself. If you do something, if your feeling tell you what you have to do this or that, it's for some reason. You have to trust your feeling. Without this, being an artist, and it's impossible to do something without analyze what you hear. Later, as I say, yeah, but not in the process. Okay, about the question about the light, it's a simple. Look at this shadow here, all the shadows. They just like that, parallel to my paper and parallel to the horizon line. So we have lights from side on the building as well. So, and I'm trying to keep that direction. That's why all the people here have a light from one side and the shadows from the second side. Pretty soft, but it's still the shadow. It's still very transparent. You see, it's a lot of water. Yeah, about the question how much paint. No, it's still water and just a little bit pigments as usual. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's exactly that process. You're right. So before I'm thinking about what I want, I'm trying to build my project. I'm trying to understand what I'm looking for from this photo, how I want to transform it to the watercolor. But it's just in the beginning. Then I'm start. It's like I'll take a glass of wine. No thinking, just feeling. Yeah, good question about the workshops. We run the 2 workshops. One will be in the beginning of September. It's a 2 days workshop in the Old Port in Montreal. It's one of the most beautiful part of the city for sure. And we do make the workshop in the Sketching Academy project. It will be, if I'm right, in August 20. But it will be just 1 day for 5 hours, and it's more about the sketching, because we're talking about the Sketching Academy. But yeah, we will do that, because the Lachine where I'm living, it's extremely beautiful area, with a very nice natural life, and the river water, that's brilliant. Yeah, we'll do that. The place where it will be, all the people who subscribe for the workshop will have a PDF file with all the points where we will be. So if you subscribe, you will got all the information. So we're done. I believe we don't have to do more because we already make the lights, and it's look like understandable and finished painting. And as you can see, it's possible to use just 2 colors. So the question is how you create your balance, contrast, and how you explain your lights. So the 2 colors honestly is enough. For sketching, for sure. If we want to make it more beautiful, more complicated, more interesting, absolutely yes, it's better to use more colors. For sure. That's why I have a set of the 10 colors, not just 2. But to make the, again, fast sketch and explain the idea, that's enough. And if you want to practice, my advice, times to times, try to stop to use colors and switch to the painting by the 2 colors, not 1. Because then you make like a painting in 1 color. Yeah, you explain the light for sure, but you couldn't explain the difference between the like a warm reflection, cold shadows. Then you use the 2 colors. You can make your game more interesting, and it helps to concentrate how to build a project without focusing on colors. After that, if you back to the colors, that experience help you to make the better painting, for my feeling. So that's my advice. Times to times, back to painting in 2 colors. Okay? And thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining me today. That video will be available on our YouTube channel, so you can back to that anytime as you want, if you want to practice and follow me. And stay healthy, and for sure we'll see each other many times in the future on my channel. Just please look at the advertising. Times to times we post the date of the live video in advance. Don't miss it. And if you want to join to my workshop in person, I will be happy, because it's always, you know, the workshops, what we're doing, it's always interesting. The people who took it already know that, because I'm share all my experience, and I'm trying to do my best to make workshops like almost like a private lessons. We always communicate. So thank you for joining me, and stay healthy. See you. Bye bye.